Hi everyone, this is Kristen with the Tech Reviewer, and today I'm here with two different sizes of ESR's HaloLock Kickstand MagSafe Power Bank, the 5000 mAh and the 10,000 mAh. If you've got a MagSafe compatible phone, MagSafe power banks are an invaluable accessory. No cables needed, just slap them on and you can get the charge you need. ESR is well known for their excellent kickstands, and with these products you not only get a MagSafe power bank, you also get a convenient adjustable stand. Let's take a closer look. Looking at these two ESR power banks side by side, you got your 10,000 mAh version here on the right and your 5,000 mAh version on the left. So your 10,000 mAh version is going to give you twice as much charging capacity, and it is significantly larger, not exactly a surprise there. So it's going to be a lot thicker, it's going to be taller, and it's going to be wider. As far as additional functionality, besides the fact that it's going to give you twice the charging capacity, this one is also going to give you the ability to do wired charging and wireless charging at the same time. So you can plug something into the USB-C port and charge it while you are wirelessly charging something. And the other thing that it's got that the other one doesn't is that it's going to have faster wired charging speed. Other than that, feature-wise, these two guys are going to be the same. So both of them are going to come with a USB-C to USB-C charging cable, and neither of them is going to come with any kind of a wall charger. They're going to need something which is 20 watts. So something like this Anker Nano Pro should work really well, although an Apple 20-watt charger is also going to work great as well. Looking at the construction of the 5000 mAh version, this has a very nice feel in the hand. So we have a hard, smooth plastic and aluminum construction here. This does not have the soft touch finish that you have on many power banks. This feels nicely made. So we've got a USB-C here on the side that works in conjunction with the stand very conveniently. So you can have this in stand mode and have your phone wirelessly charging, and at the same time you can have this plugged in. This supports pass-through charging, so it's going to prioritize your phone charging first, and then it's also going to be charging the battery. I think that functionality works extremely well. Our stand is adjustable to a wide variety of angles. It's very sturdy. Everything works really well. Just a very nice device. This is going to give you about a 73% charge for an iPhone 14 Pro. So that's pretty typical for a 5000 mAh battery. Overall, just a really nice product from the folks at ESR. So comparing this size-wise with some competitor products, if you want to compare it to the Anker 622 MagGo power bank, I love this one. This one works really well. So this is also going to give you the same 7.5 watt charging speed. So that's not really MagSafe charging speed. It's actually fast Qi wireless charging speed. Neither of these is truly a MagSafe battery. They attach in a MagSafe manner, and then they're going to charge your device as a Qi wireless charger. So your Anker version here is going to be somewhat thinner than the version from ESR. As you can see, you definitely have a thinner profile here. However, the Anker is going to be taller, and they're approximately the same width. The Anker also has a drawback because it's got its USB-C charging port here on the bottom, so you're not able to charge this at the same time that you have it in this vertical stand mode. You can put it on its side, but it doesn't really work as well. Most people are going to have it in this kind of orientation, and then you can't do the pass-through charging at the same time. Also, one thing which is really nice about this is that this is going to have an adjustable stand as opposed to the non-adjustable stand you have with the Anker. You have this angle and this angle only, so you can't have this in any other orientation. It just has one mode. And then if you want to compare this size-wise with another of the MagSafe batteries that I have lying around, this one is a Benks 5000 mAh MagSafe battery. So this one is going to be smaller than your ESR. It's also going to be thinner, However, it doesn't have any stand functionality. So both of them are good, just depends upon what you're looking for in a MagSafe battery for your iPhone. Looking at the 10,000 milliamp hour version of this MagSafe power bank, this is going to be significantly larger and heavier. It's also got a lot more capacity. It's going to give a 14 Pro about 1.6 to 1.7 full charges, so that is really quite impressive. And you've got the same nice positioning here for your USB-C port, so that you can be having this in stand mode using pass-through charging. You can also have something else charging via USB-C here. So this will charge two devices at the same time. Overall, really nice functionality here. I'm loving the adjustable stand. All that works great. Of course, we still don't have full MagSafe charging speed with this. You're going to have 7.5 watt charging speed, but it is going to attach magnetically. Size-wise, in comparison to other 10,000 milliamp hour power banks that I happen to have, this is going to be bigger than this one from Benks. So the Benks one is going to be shorter, maybe a little bit less wide, and thickness, it's also going to be a little thinner, but the Benks one does not have a stand. Other than that, these guys are going to be quite similar in functionality. And then if you want to look at this one from ZEERA, so the ZEERA one does have a stand, but the ZEERA one is going to be significantly thicker. The stand is also not going to be adjustable. It's just going to be like that Anker stand I showed you. So you have one angle and one angle only. However, it's important to note that this one from ZEERA has an additional feature. This will also charge Apple Watch. Attaching the ESR power banks onto your phone to charge is extremely easy. They feature instant on, so all you need to do is attach it and they start charging. You can turn this off via the power button, however, so that is nice if you're planning on using this in kickstand mode, just as a stand, so you don't have to run down your power bank while doing so. So right here we've got the iPhone 14 Pro Max and we've got the 10K version. So it is definitely a substantial power bank, no question about that. You can use this here in portrait mode. You can also use it in landscape mode. So that's a cool way to do it as well. The same is going to be true for your 5K version. So attaching this on, here we have it in portrait mode. And you can check out the stand here. Love that adjustable functionality. And then you can also put it in landscape mode. So really cool. Now obviously we've got a bigger phone here and we've got the smaller power bank. So this is reasonably sleek here. If you attach this onto the smaller phone, obviously the power banks themselves are going to look bigger. So checking these out on my iPhone 14 Pro, so we've got the 5K version here in portrait mode. So it looks a bit bigger on the 14 Pro than it did on the 14 Pro Max, but still, I don't think it is that big. I think it is a nice looking power bank on here. So we have it in portrait mode. You can also put it in landscape mode here. Great for watching content. However, if you move on to the 10K version, you can attach this in portrait mode. It's going to hang over the bottom just a little bit because it's so big. And if you want to put this in landscape mode, it does not work very well. So it's just a little bit too big. As you can see, it's almost on top of the camera module here. It's whacking up against the glass just very slightly, and personally I just really don't like that look, don't like that fit. If you're using this with the 10K, you're fine if you want to use it in portrait mode, but probably not in landscape mode. And again, if you're using this with the 14 Pro Max, you're not going to have an issue. So checking these out with some cases, because personally I never use my iPhone without a case. I've got my 14 Pro Max here in the Apple leather case. So looking at it with the ESR 10K, we've got a nice tight magnetic connection here. You can look at it in portrait, you can look at it in landscape. I think everything is good there. You got plenty of space. Another nice case to look at this with is ESR's own HaloLock case. Two things about it really stand out. First off, it's got extremely strong magnets because it's a HaloLock case. All of ESR's HaloLock products have really, really strong magnets in my experience. And the other thing which is really interesting about it is that it comes with a built-in stand around the camera rim. So this folds out, it's adjustable to various angles, and it works really well. So it's kind of a unique feature for this. ESR has lots of experience with stands, and it clearly shows here. The other thing which is nice about this is that it also gives you extra camera protection. This is a very high camera rim, so for those of you that are always worried about the amount of protection that you've got for your rear camera, this may be a case to consider. So fit-wise with the ESR power banks, this is going to fit with both sizes. So let's look at the big size first. So looking here with your 10K version, in portrait mode, everything is great here, no issues. And in landscape mode, it will fit, but you have to position it correctly. So it fits this way around, not a problem, but if you put it the other way around, it won't fit. So this is important when you have cases that have larger camera rims like you have with this ESR case. If tolerances are tight, it may fit in one direction and not in another. So as long as you position this the right way around, you're good to go, and you've got a great magnetic connection. Really, really strong magnets with these ESR power banks. And then looking at it with a much smaller 5K power bank, again, everything is great with the magnets, very nice and tight. And with this one, you can actually position it in either position. So it's going to fit this way for landscape, and it will also fit the other way around because you've got more space. Overall, really nice combo here from ESR. As far as things are concerned with the iPhone 14 Pro in a case and the two ESR power banks, things are a little bit more complicated. So this RHINOSHIELD Clear case is a good example of that. It kind of works, but not all that well. So if you look here at the 5K ESR power bank, you can see when it attaches, it is going to be very slightly on top of the camera rim, which is not optimal. However, if you push it down just a little bit, then it actually attaches okay. And because you have such strong magnets here with the RHINOSHIELD Clear and strong magnets in the power bank, you actually have a fine connection here. But still, when you initially attach it, it's going to be not quite right. You have to adjust it just a little bit. So that is not optimal. And same thing is going to be true here with your 10K. It's going to charge, and you can position it so that it's okay. It's still not quite as good, I think, as with the 5K, but it's not bad. It's sort of huge, but it is working, and as you can see, it is charging. However, there are a lot of other cases that are going to work better. So out of all of the iPhone 14 Pro cases that I have, the Apple Silicone case, not surprisingly, is going to have the widest range of compatibility with the ESR power banks. So looking at the 10K power bank here, you can see that you have quite a good fit overall. It does hang very slightly over the edge here at the bottom, but it's quite slight. You have a nice magnetic connection here. All of that is good, and then of course you can also use this in stand mode perfectly as long as you stay in portrait mode. If you try to do this in landscape mode, it's not going to fit. Absolutely no way. If you try to move it down, then it just doesn't connect properly. So that is a no-go. As far as the 5K is concerned, everything is great. You have a much smaller, sleeker fit with this smaller power bank. And then if you try to put this in landscape mode, it is going to fit okay. Sometimes it's going to attach on there very slightly off, but it's easy to push it down. And actually most of the time when you try to attach it, it does not get hung up here on the camera rim. So that is good. So overall, I think that everything works really fantastically well with your Apple Silicone. Another case which is going to be very compatible with these ESR power banks is going to be the OtterBox Symmetry. So just like your Apple Silicone, you've got a very small, narrow rim on here. So it's not going to bump up against things. So 10K power bank and 5K power bank. The 5K power bank will fit in both orientations, portrait and landscape, and your 10K is only going to fit in one. In fact, I've not found a single situation in which the 10K power bank will fit with a case on. It will fit with a naked iPhone, but there's almost no space, and again, I don't think it's a great fit with the naked iPhone in landscape mode. Portrait mode, not a problem. It's landscape mode that's problematic. And with all of my cases, landscape mode for the 14 Pro did not work. Cases that have wider rims around the camera area, such as your CASETiFY Impact case or your RHINOSHIELD SolidSuit case, are going to fit fine in portrait mode, just not in landscape mode. Here we are with the SolidSuit. Everything is fine. Sometimes it gets very slightly hung up on the rim here, but you can push it down into place, just like with the Clear, and everything is going to be fine. But there is absolutely no way that it's going to fit here in landscape mode. As you can see, it's sitting right on top of that wide camera rim. You're going to have a similar situation with the CASETiFY Impact. The final category of iPhone 14 Pro cases that I wanted to talk about in relationship to their compatibility with the ESR power banks is those cases which lack a bottom camera rim. So we've got the Mous Limitless 5.0 and we've got the Speck Presidio Pro. So because they don't have a bottom camera rim, there's nothing to get in the way. So these are going to work better. The other one that I wanted to show you is the Mous Clarity 2.0. This one is also lacking a bottom camera rim, but there's other aspects to this case which make it not work quite as well as the other two. It still has some compatibility, but it does have issues. So checking out the Speck Presidio Pro and the 10K ESR, everything fits well here. We've got tons of space at the top here around the camera area, although not enough to make this fit properly in landscape mode. I mean, it almost does, but to me that's too close to your bottom camera lens. And when you look at it with the 5K, it's a no-brainer. Everything is great with the 5K. Absolutely no issues. So really cool combo there. We're going to have a similarly excellent situation here with the Mous Limitless 5.0. Everything is great here with the 10K. Everything is great with the 5K. And you can even use this in landscape mode. Interestingly, the Mous Clarity 2.0 ends up having a few issues with these power banks, even though it lacks that bottom rim. So with the larger power bank, with the 10K version, it's going to fit on okay, except for the fact that it hits this bottom ridge on the case, so it doesn't adhere as well as it should magnetically. It's okay, but it's not perfect. It's fine at the top, but at the bottom, not optimal. And of course, it's definitely not going to fit this way very well because it's going to be too close to the camera lenses. And when you look at the 5K version, this one is going to be fine as far as that bottom ridge because it's shorter. So we have a better connection here. So there's not going to be any problem in portrait. But in landscape, it comes too close, again, to the camera lenses. So I don't feel very comfortable because it's actually very slightly touching the bottom of that camera lens. So I don't think that that is optimal, even though it does look kind of cool. So all in all, I think we've got some really great products here from ESR. I think my favorite is going to be the 5K version, just because it's smaller and more compact. It's going to slide more easily into your pockets, etc. And I think that 5,000 milliamp hours is absolutely enough power for me. However, if you are looking for a bigger bang for your buck and you don't mind carrying around a larger power bank, then there is a lot to love here with the 10K version. You can charge 2 devices at once and you've got twice the power reserves. So definitely some products to consider if you are in the market for a MagSafe power bank for your iPhone 14 Pro or 14 Pro Max. Again, we've been looking at the ESR 5000 milliamp hour and 10,000 milliamp hour HaloLock Kickstand power banks. These products are available directly from ESR as well as from Amazon, and they're currently priced at $49.49 for the 10,000 milliamp hour version and $35.99 for the 5000 milliamp hour version. These are the prices on Amazon. Prices are a bit higher on ESR's own website. Both sizes are available in the black colors shown in this review as well as white versions. Many thanks to the kind folks at ESR for sending me out these samples to review. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section below, and do hit that subscribe button because I've got a lot of tech accessory reviews coming up. Again, this is Kristen with the Tech Reviewer. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day.